All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a massive problem, something you see all the time. Why do huge projects almost always seem to fail? We're going to uncover the secret to fixing them. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with working harder. It's all about working smarter by fixing the system itself.
I mean, we've all heard the stories, haven't we? A new stadium, a huge bridge, a power plant. They almost always seem to go way over schedule and blow the budget. And for the people running these jobs, labor productivity is, without a doubt, the single biggest risk factor. But it begs the question, are we even measuring it the right way to begin with? So here's the crucial difference. The way we usually track progress, well, traditional metrics are kind of like driving while only looking in the rearview mirror. They're great at telling you what happened last week. Yep, you're behind schedule. Thanks for the update. But they don't tell you why. Now, a totally different approach, called work sampling, is like looking at the road ahead. It's analyzing the whole process in real time so you can spot the roadblocks and the wasted effort as it's happening.
And that total reliance on looking backward, well, that creates a massive problem that we call the productivity blind spot.
Okay, this is the fundamental shift in thinking. For decades, if a project's productivity was low, the assumption was always, well, the workforce must be the problem. But you know what? Modern analysis shows that's almost never the case. The real story is that it's management's job to design an efficient work process. The workforce, they can only be as effective as the system you put them in.
So, if the system is the problem, how in the world do you diagnose it? Well, the answer lies in this really powerful statistical technique called work sampling. Now, work sampling isn't about watching any single person or standing over someone's shoulder. It's a really smart statistical method. Just imagine taking thousands of little snapshots of a huge workforce, but at totally random moments. When you put all those tiny snapshots together, you get this incredibly clear, accurate picture of how time is really being spent across the entire project.
And this right here, this is the whole philosophy that powers the entire method. This isn't about cracking a whip or telling people to hurry up. It's all about finding and removing the obstacles that get in the way and prevent people from doing their best work. It's literally about making the work flow smoother for everyone involved.
Let me give you the perfect analogy. When you go to the doctor, they don't need to drain all of your blood to check your health, right? Of course not. They take one small, random sample. Work sampling applies that exact same logic to a massive project. A statistically valid set of random observations can tell you everything you need to know about the health of the entire work process. It's brilliant.
Okay, so the theory sounds pretty solid, but what does this actually look like on a busy, chaotic construction site? Let's walk through how it works, day to day. First things first, analysts classify every single activity into one of three main buckets. Direct work is pretty simple. That's hands-on tool time, actually building something. Then you have indirect work, which is all the necessary support stuff, like walking to get materials. And finally, you have downtime. And that's just pure waiting for instructions, for a crane, for materials to even show up. This simple framework is the key to the whole thing. So the process itself is actually really straightforward. An analyst walks a totally random route at a randomly selected time, and the key word here is random. That's what makes the data totally unbiased. At the exact instant they see a worker, they just impersonally record what that person is doing and classify it. They're not writing down names or anything like that. They're literally just putting a tick mark in a category. Then, after thousands of these little observations, you start to see these incredibly powerful patterns emerge. Now, you might be thinking this would make workers super nervous, but it's actually the complete opposite. Because it's anonymous and random, it causes way less anxiety than having a supervisor standing over your shoulder with a clipboard. It doesn't interfere with the work at all. And maybe most importantly, it replaces opinions and guesswork with cold, hard, objective facts. So now we've got all of this objective data. This is where the magic happens. Let's see how it gets turned into real, tangible improvements that actually save money. Okay, check this out. A sample daily report might show direct work at 58%. Not bad, but look closer at the other slices. Waiting is at 18%, and walk empty is at 12%. You add those two together, and that's 30% of the day. We're talking thousands of hours spent not making direct progress. The data has just put a giant spotlight on a huge opportunity. And this is what makes it so brilliant. This is how that data becomes a solution. The observation isn't workers are walking too much. No, it's the materials laydown area is too far from the work area. So the solution isn't to tell people to walk faster. It's a system fix. Assign people to bring the materials to the craftspeople. It's a non-blaming,
Totally practical action plan.
And here it is, the payoff. After they implemented that one simple change to the materials layout, just look what happens to the data. The time spent walking empty just plummets from 12% in the first week all the way down to just 4% by week 3. That is a massive, massive gain in efficiency. And it was recovered without asking a single person to work one bit harder. The system just got smarter.
So let's bring this all home and look at the real impact of this whole smarter, not harder philosophy when you actually apply it consistently.
You know, the biggest benefits aren't even on a spreadsheet. This whole approach makes work more convenient and way less frustrating for the people actually doing it. I mean, think about it. When you remove those annoying roadblocks and streamline the workflow, you're not just improving efficiency, you're also making the job safer and improving job satisfaction. It's a true win-win.
And the financial impact? The bottom line? Well, it is staggering. Across hundreds of construction and maintenance projects where this method has been implemented, the documented labor cost savings are consistently between 20 and 30%. Sometimes it's even more than that. That's the power of actually observing and improving the system.
So I'll just leave you with this question. This isn't just about construction sites, right? Think about your own work, your own team, whatever projects you're on. What are the hidden roadblocks, those little systemic problems that cause frustration and just waste time? What could you achieve if you stopped trying to just push harder and instead just paused to observe the system?